Hello everybody, this is Allshouse Gaming and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Shadows over Loathing. In the previous episode, we helped Him Quarry get its best possible ending for everyone involved, and then we decided to investigate the missing kids of Largemouth Bass and Sons. Oh, and I didn't mention this yesterday, but Occam's Gator is a reference to Occam's Razor. Basically, the idea that the simplest solution is the correct one. Let's see. Suddenly, silently, a flock of shadowy, yeah, banish them. Alright, let's get our reward. Is Adam Tracy? Yeah, Chief, blah blah blah. We all breathe a little easier tonight, my friend, and it's thanks to you. Kathy Tracy is home. I'm glad now I never got around to telling her mother she was missing. Alright, the impossible rod. Chapman's side door key. Can't thank you enough. Although I'd rather not give you any more of a reward than that, so perhaps I can thank you enough. I'd like more thanks, please. Oh, alright, you've caught me in a sentimental mood. You must be happy to have Kathy home. Oh yes, and I'll let you on a secret. I'm thinking of rebranding as Largemouth Bath and Sons and Daughter. Rolls off the tongue, don't you think? That would be appropriate, as it's how we slide the fish bones out. Okay. Occam's Gator is real. Yeah, I know. Well, I'll be on my way. Looking for something? What's back there? Crew quarters, off limits. You live here? Where the fish live, we live. Can I go inside? No, that's a space for a Tracy family, like our crypt. Can I go to that? You better not. It's the mess through there. Oh, I don't mind. I don't mean it's messy. I'm saying that's the room where we have meals. It's that type of mess. I thought they only really used that term in the armed forces. You don't consider fishing to be part of the armed forces? What do you think we use to hold the rods? Arms? That's right. Actually, I better go back out and take care of that fishing thing. Because that's how we get the achievement. What lies beyond that door is for fishermen only. What is it? Fish. Can I fish here? Ha! Word is that Adam Tracy himself gave you fishing rights and the key to that door. Indeed he did. Well, I won't stop you, but I'm registering my disapproval. You unlock the door and toss the key to Chapman. Here, you can argue with him about it. Whoa, no sooner has your hook breached the water than you feel upon it a pull, a strong tug that sends reverberations all the way up the line and through your bones. This bass is ready. It is ready for you. Now, bring your face closer, young one, and let me have a sight of you. You? Largest mouth Luke? Yeah, and I know you, Talia. 'Twas you I saw in mine vision. Has stirred me from mine slumber death, and by whose warning I am returned to the affairs of this world one last time. What vision is this? Why, that shadow widens its jaw with intent to devour the world entire. Talia, but perhaps for you, and if I may, I. You? What do you mean? I am old, Talia. Mine bones have withstood the rise and fall of empires. I have loved 100 hearts and watched them each expire. And all the while mine scales have scarcely lost their luster. There's little left of me now, Talia, but when you have need of me, I shall be your call. Fish beckons you closer. Lean in. Road ahead is dark, Talia, and there is much to do. He kisses you behind your ear. I shall be your champion. Largest mouth Luke drops back into the water, and you're conscious of something in your pocket that was not there before. Conch shell. Summon largest mouth Luke in time of need, once per fight. Here's the thing. He's actually pretty useless. You summon him once, he does 1 damage to an enemy, and then immediately dies, and the item is removed from your inventory. Okay, until we meet again, Luke. Let's see. Probably shouldn't bother Luke. Fine. Back here. Your quarters? How would you know that? That's where Mr. Tracy has his. Maybe the two of you are more similar than you'd like to admit. Back off, Freud. Can I go inside? To our family's private quarters, I'd sooner let a dogfish loose in my socks. Is that something you do? Rarely. This must be the mess, right? It is, where we proudly serve a reboned fish just the way we like it. I don't want to see you slipping any bones out of that fish, you hear? Well, you definitely won't see that. The mess hall back here. Back there. Okay. Great, you gonna let me in? Let's see, try to give me one miss. You ever wish you'd had a glorious death at sea? Many creatures tried to give me one miss, but before they can get their teeth in me, I've reboned them 6 ways to Suntog. He spits water chewing tobacco out the door. Guy Chapman, Chief Reboning Officer, Largemouth Bass and Sons. And you must be Talia, the one I hear has thrown in her lot with the woeful deboner next door. Oh, surprised I know your name? Well, the largemouth bass have ears. You're Guy Chapman? I brought your son home. Indeed, wonderful news. And then you went and spoiled it all by saving Kathy from that gator. How are things with Tom? Or how are things with Tom home? Better than ever. The bass have never had more bones. Occam's gator is real. I saw him. The shower, yes. No. It's just... That's mostly where I see him. They'll be seeing ya. I know there's something we can get from here for the speakeasy. Mixers. Bass oil. In Tracy Chapman's left room at Largemouth Bass and Sons. Requires a strength check. Sign says take a bottle of bass oil. Take a bottle. Why, it's glued to the tables. Bottles, crates, the whole thing. You now notice the reverse of the sign, which reads, if you can. Take the bottles. Huzzah! You break the bonds of the glue with a satisfying thwart. You got an item. Crate of bass oil. And take the sign. Annoying sign. It says, take the bottle of bass oil if you can. Just sell it. If you can. Write it better. The cat leaps into your arms and licks your cheek with the vigor and slappiness of an animal 10 times her size. Well, hey there, girl, what's your name? Cat nods at its collar. Skilla, it says. Skilla, huh? What's that big lick for? Cat nods to the other side of the collar, which says you didn't go against the family. Okay. What's her bond? 20% to meat drops. Nah, I'm keeping my current boon. Search it. Box is labeled Adams. Do not eat. Do eat. Original sandwich. Sandwich smacks of something foul and deeply wrong. As if the food had rotted itself to punish your minor transgressions. It reminds you of a story of her friend Eve who ate a forbidden window display sandwich that was cast out from the Garden of Eden restaurant. Like Eve, you have tasted forbidden sandwich and must make this the consequences. Blech. Funnily enough, I can just immediately get rid of it. Let's see, unlock it. Small LB and S key. Key fits snugly in the lock. So snugly you can't get it out, in fact. But it does its job nonetheless. Alright. Search the beds. We got Spearmint Taffy. Damage of your ranged weapon attacks. Licorice Taffy. Of melee weapon attacks. It's bound to either invigorate you or angrify you, depending on how you feel about black licorice. Spearmint flavored saltwater taffy will help you keep your cool, which is what you need to be good with ranged weapons like spears. Assuming you're throwing the spears, look, there isn't any such thing as bullet mint. Let's see. Spartan Mesha, no secrets, look under the pillow. 16 teeth. Tooth Fairy skipped this swamp for a while. Just sell them, I guess? Largemouth Bath's eyes peek through the slats in the locker. Okay, search the coat. Fierce Rummaging yields a letter in the right pocket. The envelope appears unopened. Take it. Kathy's letter. A letter from Kathy addressed only to Dad. The post office will never be able to deliver that. Read it. Envelope isn't sealed. You slide it open with ease. Dad, all anyone cares about in this family is largemouth bass. Well, I'm sick of it. Ain't I a person too? Ain't I deserving of being cared about too? I'm leaving Dad for a place where dreams are possible. You ain't never going to find me because you don't know where that is. Love, Kathy. P.S. Hi to Mom. I wonder what would have happened if we'd gotten that and given it to him. You need to see this. Ain't never, ain't I? My friend, those are the vulgar contractions of Occam's Gator. I didn't give Kathy a copy of Jane Eyre to ever contract improperly. No, this letter is an obvious ruse, friend. Occam's clumsily attempt to throw us off the scent. Face it, Tiger, your daughter ran away from home. I'm yet to see any evidence of that. I ate your sandwich. No, you didn't. The one in the refrigerator is a decoy. Nobody's ever found the real thing. Can I marry into your family? No, I'm afraid we're all spoken for. Nothing personal, it's just that in the largemouth bass business, marriages are arranged from a very young age. It's political. You understand. Found these teeth under a pillow. Yes, those are mine. You believe in the tooth fairy? No. I'll be on my way. Now, we could visit the Gatorman Hamlet, but I don't think there's anything there. See, a quite embarrassed gentleman waist-deep in swamp monk gives you a wave. I seem to be stuck, but I'm not too proud to ask for help. Help. For a muscle miss like yourself, it's an easy enough task to pull a man out of some mud, which is good because you have to do it another 5 times before this guy he gets back on solid ground. Move along. Yeah, no. Well, then again, XP is always good. I've got a ton of it. I really should spend some of that on some more armor. But I also kind of want to save up to get the other bits of our... or some... to get some cold armor, because I don't have that, or spooky armor. Hello? The handle on this fridge is busted. This is going to be a headache come lunchtime. Try to open the door. No dice, and no door opening either. Whoever smashed in the handle wanted to keep you out or keep something in. Magical talking sandwich, maybe? Force it open. With great force, you open the door. Released from his refrigerator cage, a cold man squirms out into the muck, gasping for air. My God, you are my savior. One more day trapped in there, and I would have succumbed completely to despair. Who are you? I am Fabian, an illustrator of the natural sciences. Arid steppes, glittering bergs of ice, but lately my interests have taken me to these damp lands. I am in my soggy period. How did you get in here there? I was traveling to the swamp to sketch the native cypress, only to be caught in a net by these gator-esque men. First they allowed me to roam within the confines of this camp, but when I shouted for help at a passing truck, I was put into the refrigerator. What truck? Oh, it hurtled through the camp like a bass out of hell. It was a boy and a girl at the wheel, and I called out, "Stop! I am a prisoner! Take me with you!" But they drove on. What makes a person do that? Where was the truck headed? North of here, I'm sure of it. Ah, interesting. Thank you. If you want to leave, the only way out is more or less clear. I do want to leave. That is a good guess. If we ever meet again, it would honor me to paint your portrait. I am an artist, as you know. I cannot paint you right away, as I am in my soggy period, but I must conclude that work, or if you become soggy, well, who knows? Am I not soggy enough? Not for academia, no. Oh well. Okay. Safe hanging in an unsafe manner from the ceiling. Open it. It's got a combination lock on it and you don't know the combination. Oh. Did Adams have something to say? Nope. Sleeping Gatorman, unless he's lying about being asleep. Let him lie. Now then, let's hide over here until those guys come back. Yep. Screw it. Fight them. Toward them. Charge! Alright, so he doesn't do any damage, but he does take money from them. Let's see. 0 physical damage, because he's got a shield. 10 physical damage. 7 physical damage. Let's go for the free-for-all to get rid of that armor on him. Let's see. 35. Let's go for him, just because he just barely makes the cut. Yeah, he screams, blah, blah, blah. Poison him. Alright, 13 physical damage, sure, why not? Poison him. And he dies from the poison. Gatorman skin pants. 1 muscle, 2 physical armor. Not bad. A swamp mushroom that we have no idea what it does. Okay, 1 physical armor, 3 to maximum HP. I think I can go without the extra 3 HP for the physical armor and the muscle. This must be the second shift. Luckily, they're all facing the other way. Ambush them. Yet somehow they're still going first. Fine. Seven, 10, 12. Let's go after him. How? Poison him. See, he's only got 14 health, so he'll die to the poison. At least he should. And if not, then that'll do it. Dispatch the guard gators and your path forward is clear. Nasty pastry, 15 stench damage, and a swamp haunch. Huh. Onward then. A moment, if it please. Yeah. How are we doing, Professor? I hope this isn't all this isn't too strenuous for you. Not at all, my young friend. Indeed, after spending 200 years as a bronze statue, this is just the thing I need to limber up. Hey, more HP. Not a bad thing. Alright, what do we got in here? Forge, presumably for hammering on terrible gator needles. Gross. Rack of horrible-looking weapons. Grab one. Let's see. Rusty gator blade. Muscle plus 5 physical damage and causes 3 bleeding. Nice. We probably get the other ones depending on our class. This Gatorman seems less aggressive than is typical for these guys. Talk to him. Hi there. Greet, human. Not eat. Greet. Thanks, I appreciate that. You seem a bit more relaxed than the rest of the gator folk. Yes, everyone crazy. Dunno reason. Not belong. Leave swamp. Where you go? Dunno. Wander? Oh, like a hobo? Hobo? What that? Basically someone who travels from place to place because they're looking for work or just don't have anywhere specific to be. Yes, Hobo Gator! First, though, need a weapon. Defend self. Ask about Hobo Code. You know any Hobo Code you can teach me? Hobo Code? What that? Oh, right, you wouldn't know any yet. It's like little symbols that Hobo use to leave messages for other hobos. Here, I can show you some of the basic ones. You teach them symbols for a safe camp, cops here, and the increasingly rare and exciting pie on the windowsill. Let's offer him a weapon. Let's give him something we don't really use. No. Let's give him a gator stick. How about this? No thanks. Weapon weak. Need power. Okay. I'll admit I never really messed with this guy. You probably need something with a high base damage. The 3 base damage, no. The only thing I have would be the dire corn holder. Hold on, let me look into this, because I don't think I ever encountered this guy. Okay, so he does need a +6 weapon. Why not? I'm not going to use the dire corn holder. How about this dire corn holder? Yes, good. Weapon's strong. Safe now. Thank human. No problem. You know, there's a bunch of hobos collecting in a camp outside of Ocean City. They're pretty accepting people. I don't think they'd mind you joining. Plus, it'd be handy to have some muscle around the place. Sound good. I go. He waves goodbye and stomps out the door. Bye. Terrible rusty metal fridge dangles from the ceiling. Rate it. Some dried swamp meat. And swamp mushroom. Weird. None of this stuff is even perishable. Seems to be where Gatorman store. Okay. Well, I ain't messing around with this stuff. Alright, we're done with the hamlet, which means the only thing left is the Gatorman Fortress. All of a sudden you hear Gatorman scream wildly to your left. Ah! And then just as suddenly another Gatorman starts screaming to your right. What the? You're an angry snarl behind you. Turn around. Another Gatorman. Oh no. Oh yes, and then you hear someone say, ugh, behind you. You turn around. There's another Gatorman. You're surrounded. Oh crap. Fight him. Okay. And there goes Mr. Haim, which means I'm not getting money out of this, or at least any more. Alright, free for all to get rid of their shields. And then take this one out before he gets any more powerful. Alright, poison that one. And I'd better take him out. See, he's filthy. I'll save him for last. Well, it didn't matter. Gonna waste his time on screaming, and then I take him out. You won! Jeez, maybe that'll teach him not to sneak up on a girl like that. Mr. Haim, the greedy frog grows stronger. He also seems to be one of the few that we don't name. Huh. Alright, close it. These Gatormen aren't doing enough damage to each other for it to seem like a real fight. Either they're just sparring, or this is how Gatorman arguments work. Either way, they aren't paying any attention to you. We passed them. Then we can use this. This filthy pipe must lead inside, presumably to the bathroom part of inside, if the smell is any indication. Crawl on through. Pipe turns out to be much longer than you expected, with a lot of twists and turns. Clearly, efficient airflow and ventilation systems is not a big priority in Gatorman architecture. You eventually come out on either a garbage processing center or a kitchen. Let's take a look. Even if Gatormen bother to cook their meals, they probably don't cook them in an electric stove standing in 18 inches of water. Wouldn't surprise me if they did. This is a kitchen only in the sense that it's a place where food is prepared. Remains of an awful meal. There's nothing of value on the shelves, probably not even by Gatorman standards. It's one of those fridges, you know, ones hanging on big rusty chains. See what's inside. The chain wasn't attached very well, and the whole thing comes loose. A refrigerator on a chain. Neither the refrigerator nor the chain is in very good shape, but you're probably not going to find a better version of this very specific combination. Oof. And here is Charles. It's Charles, he's in a cage. It's a cage with Charles in it. Charles, shh, they'll hear you. Oh, right. Boy, am I glad to see you, kid. Thought I was a goner. You're an adventuresome type and all. You know how to pick a lock? Only with an appropriately shaped key. I mean, you'll have to get it off their leader then. I think his room's down the other end of the hall. Okay, I'll be right back. No, there's another way. This must be the Gatorman's dinner bell. Ring it. Be nonsensical and cruel to ring this dinner bell without making dinner first. Nonsensical and cruel is the Gatorman standard of behavior. Let's not sink to their levels. Prepare a feast? Are you kidding? All the food here is days-old meat with bites taken out of it already. You'd die. Not for me, for the Gatorman. Oh, I get you. Well, there are some big haunches of some sort of carcass strewn about. If you can lift those onto the table, you might have the beginnings of something. Prepare a feast. Poke around the cupboards, pulling out everything you can identify as maybe being Gatorman food. Mainly telling the difference between old lumps of meat and old lumps of mud by whether it's got a bone sticking out. Since you don't know whether Gatormen avoid food with mold on it or consider it an essential spice, you compromise and only scrape half off. Then you pile all that onto the table and garnish it with a sprig of parsley. Hopefully this will hold the guards' attention for a while. Bon appetit. Feast fit for a king. Of garbage. Bring it. Bang on the bell with a discarded bone, then crouch next to the door. The Gatorman guards all stream in and immediately start fighting over who gets the juiciest lump of whatever those lumps are made of. And don't notice you sneaking out into the hall. Sneaky, sneaky. Okay. Big rusty chemical barrel. Investigate. Barrel says chloroform, and so does the smell leaking out of it. Woof. Dump it out. I see what you're going for, and sure, filling the place with chloroform fumes would knock out all the guards, but it would also knock you out, and the water you're standing in is almost knee-deep. You can double-check your to-do list if you want, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have drown scheduled for today. Yeah. Shoebox is waterlogged. A real sure fit of nouns. A surfeit of nouns? See if there are any shoes in it. Wide loafers. This is either a pair of shoes for two people or two pairs of shoes for people who only like to wear one shoe, but on both feet at once. Widens your gait. Loose length of rusty chains. Grab it. Length of rusty chains. You're not sure exactly how long this chain is because you're not sure how tight you're supposed to pull a chain when you measure it, and also because you don't really care. This is an adventure. You can't possibly pass this up. Too nasty for you to look at, let alone touch. Hey, go away. Now, this one took me a little bit to figure out, but anyways. Do you think the Gatorman's taste in books is as bad as everything else about them? Keeping the rust off your iron fist, don't eat your henchmen, tips for new rulers, spot welding guide for ad hoc fortresses. Yeah, these are all pretty much what you'd expect, except here's one that seems interesting. To stretch man. Stretch, increase your muscle by 3. Okay. Book full of diagrams describing the limits of human anatomy and how to unsafely exceed those limits. Okay, you learn the limits of human stretching and how to fly exactly close enough to that particular sun to achieve maximum benefit. It's no easy stretch to say that maintaining proper flexibility is critical to any training regimen. You could go further, though. If you read it again, more carefully, you think you could get another inch or 2. Haha, the secret is to not care whether or not your vertebrae remain attached to one another. Stretch has been upgraded. You practice stretching, but you're so good at it now that a passing airplane knocks the book out of your hand and it is lost forever. Okay. This one took me a while. I thought the refrigerator chain was what you needed. No, you needed the length of chain from the office, or from the room. Found it. The least comfortable chair in the world. Flush it. The toilet, not the chair. This hole leads down into a massive underground chamber. Attach the chain and climb on down. Property private. Scram. You don't know what this object is, but... Oh wait, it's got blood all over it. It's an altar. Huh, where did he go? It's a weird pedestal. Touch it. And that opens a portal for us to jump through. Literally. Sirius, go away. Whatever this is, it's extremely broken. Try to fix it. All these blocks are clearly trying to move in a way that makes sense. They must have just gotten knocked out of alignment. Realign them. You move the blocks around relative to each other until they start moving in a more satisfying pattern. That's assuming you're a person who thinks a smooth circular pattern is more satisfying than jittery sparks spewing chaos. Surely everybody's that kind of person. This has to be right. Yep. This device seems less broken now. Use it. Ow. 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 Oof. Hey! Good grief, you wouldn't have fixed it if you known it was going to be so ungrateful. You got perk Ziggurat power. You've been blasted with a bunch of ancient lasers, and it has awakened the ancient laser power concealed in the mitochondria of your cells. You can use 3 additional combat items per round. Sheesh. High warning, kill you. Is this some kind of ancient temple guardian or something? It's shooting out a bunch of tightly focused beams of light that science doesn't yet have a name for, but which you can probably assume you don't want touching you. Avoid the beams. Putting good use of that stretch skill you just got. Touch it, and that should, yep, turn off the lasers. You worst, I destroy. Goliath, kill. Huh. Wow, geez, that thing really did a number on this guy. Search the puddle. Poke around in the mulch until you find something that looks more or less like an old iron key, except kind of blurry. It sizzles and twitches in your hand as you pick it up. Cursed key. This has to be the key Charles mentioned. Look at that hulking Goliath at the end of the hall. There doesn't seem to be anything beyond it, and it looks like it could squash you in an instant. Let's go back and unlock Charles. You make your way quickly back up to the room where he was being held. Phew. Cursed key. You've been having a lot of cursed objects lately, but this one seems especially dangerous. It's Charles. He's in a cage. It's a cage with Charles in it. Unlock the cage. Found the key? I think so. It's kind of weird, though. Yeah, I don't like the looks of that at all. I'd bet dollars to donuts that's the artifact we're looking for. Couldn't possibly be the key to this random Gatorman cage in the middle of nowhere, then, could it? Well, it might have some kind of key-related powers. Normally, I'd advise against using it, but I don't see any other way out of this mess. Okay, here goes. The key shifts unpleasantly in your hand, buzzing and clicking through a jerky slideshow of shapes as though searching for the particular slice of higher dimensional object that will fit this lock. When it finally finds the right one, it jerks forward in your hand and twists, and the lock clicks open. Your hand feels numb. Thanks, Talia. I thought for sure my bacon was well and truly fried. Don't mention it, Charles. Let's just get the heck out of this dump. There's no further cause to stick around, apart from any unfinished side quests you might have. You can always come back for them later. You escort Charles back to town. Talia! You found the cursed artifact and brought Charles back home safely. I can't express how grateful I am. I don't know what we'd do without him. Thank you so much. It wasn't nothing, but you know. Yeah, I get it. Don't forget to uncurse that thing before you go to bed. He seems like it has the power to open any lock. That could be extremely useful. Would it really be all that bad if I didn't uncurse it? Well, I'm not going to drag you into the machine and force you to do it, but yes, I don't actually know what would happen if you don't uncurse it. I assume it would be pretty bad. Look, you uncursed all the other things, right? Yes. Great, so go ahead and uncurse this one too, okay? Better safe than sorry. Here's the thing. I mentioned a while ago that there was a item I was not going to uncurse. This is it. The cursed key. It's not just a cutscene thing. It literally has the power to open any and all locks. A key with the power to open any lock. Starts as a quest item, becomes an equipable accessory after uncursing it. Finding is the objective of Chapter 4, The Big Moist. When it is uncursed, it gives plus 30% to item drops, and purified plus 50%. Yeah, the drop rate ain't all that useful. Especially compared to being able to open any lock. Yeah. This is actually one of the items I'm not going to uncurse. Like, seriously, I don't see much of a point in doing so. It's not going to immediately lock us to into the bad ending, so it's not going to be a bad idea to leave it cursed. I will say this, partway through the purification process, you can get a ring called the Mysterious Owl Ring. Wearing the ring allows you to use Detective Mode, a mechanic from the Key's dream sequence, on people in the real world, giving you special insight into their characters. It's just flavored text, but apparently it can be fairly interesting. It also only works on NPCs on Plunkett Street due to the ring losing power if it's too far from the source of the curse. And the only way to purify the key is to completely give up this ring. Honestly, screw purifying this. This is one of the cursed items that I'm not going to be purifying. Anyways, let me drop off the bass oil with Fancy Dan the Cocktail Man. On this case of whiskey, along with whiskey. Good deal, I'll add this to the menu right away. Red bass oil. I don't think people are going to like this very much, but you're the boss. Look, I'm not ordering you to put it in their drinks, I'm just telling you it could be an option. Anyways, with that, and Chapter 4 basically completed, we are done for this episode of Shadows over Loathing. If you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content, don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications when I upload, and please, leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.